So today I'm going to show you how to make a capsaicin based insect repellent. Basically, capsaicin is an organic molecule found inside of most peppers. It is what we associate with the heat of peppers. It's actually an organic molecule that causes the pain sensors in your mouth to fire. So today I'm going to show you how to use that molecule. We're going to get it into a spray bottle to use as an insect repellent. So I'm going to show you what you'll need first, and we'll go from there. So first things first, you will need a pepper. Any sort of pepper will do. I believe that the spiciest peppers they have the higher concentrations of the molecule you want. So I chose a jalapeno pepper. I bought 2 of them. This one and one I already have cut up over here. You're going to need a knife. Plastic knife will do. These things are pretty easy to cut. You'll need a tablespoon and a water cup measurer. You'll also need some dish soap, a water jug thing. I just used vinegar. Doesn't really matter which one. You can go out and buy any of these, just a regular water holder for I think $1.50. So nothing too bad. And a strainer. So those are all the things you'll need for what we're going to be doing today. So first things first, I'm going to show you how to cut the pepper. So first things first, you'll want to remove the stem. Go ahead and cut that right off at the top. It's kind of a pain, but once you got that, you can just throw it away if you want. And then I find the next best thing is to cut it in half. Once you've cut it in half, you can mostly just cut it up into little chunks. The original procedure I wrote out called for a blender, but it doesn't really matter that much as long as you get it kind of into its individual parts. It'll still be pretty easy to work with. So once you've chopped up your pepper into its individual pieces, we can move on to the next step. Once you're all done, you should have a bunch of little pieces that kind of look like this. As I said before, normally the procedure calls for a blender. Sorry about the background noise. But you don't have to do that. As long as these seeds are kind of showing, it's a lot easier to work with. The basic idea of this principle is to pull the drug or the molecule out of the seed using osmotic pressure, and the water will enter the seeds and pull out the compound with it. Now that I have the peppers all cut up, I'm going to take those pepper slices and put them inside of my little water jug. And you can see I already have some of them in there. I'm going to put all of them in there real quick. So just take all of these, put them right inside. Now that all of those are inside of here, I'm going to fill up my water cup with about 2 cups of water, and then I'm just going to pour it into my water jug. Do that as so. The water will then be able to act on the drug using osmotic pressure, and we will be able to pull it out of the seeds so that we can use it for later. Get all that inside of there. Voila. Now what you can do is you can just put a cap on it and let it sit for a couple hours. It allows the water to do its thing. Now that we've let it sit for a bit, we can actually pour out the water from this compound back into our little container. Now basically what this is our concentrate. So what we want to do is collect this, the water inside of here, which has all of our compound in it, and use it for our insect repellent. For this portion, I'm actually going to use a strainer, so I make sure that I keep all the big peppery stuff out. So I'll go ahead and set this over my thing and pour it on through. It's okay if we catch a few seeds in there, as long as the seeds are small enough to not clog up your spray bottle, then you should be good to go. Got a little bit, but that's okay. Just wipe it up with some paper towel. And voila, we have our concentrate. Now what you can do next is you can either use a different water gallon bottle or the same one. I'm just going to use the same one. I'm going to clear it out of all of this stuff, and I'm going to fill it most of the way full with water. So I'll come back when that's done. I was not able to get all of it out, but as long as most of it's out, it should be okay. It should be relatively dilute enough not to accidentally chemically burn your plants. That's the big bad part about this is that if it's too strong, it can actually harm your plants. But this should be fine. It shouldn't be too concentrated. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this back into here. Voila, all done. And now I'm just going to fill this almost to the top with water. So just going to take my little hose here. I unfortunately do not have a sink large enough to hold this thing, so I have to use one of these bad boys. Now that I've filled this most of the way full, we are basically done. I'll go ahead and show you what I'm going to do next now that I have my finished product. Now that the actual repellent part is basically done, I'm going to do one more thing before I'm finished. I'm actually going to add 2 tablespoons of just any kind of dish soap. Now, the weird thing about dish soap is that, well, I'll have to get a little sciencey in it. Basically, it acts as a holder. So what it will do is allow the repellent to stick to the plant and not just run off of it. This will allow the chemical to actually adhere and be able to actually repel the insects. Without this, the compound inside of our mixture here would just kind of run off and not be of any use to us. So what I'm going to do is add 2 tablespoons of this. So that's 1. Just kind of pour it on in. And 2. The nice thing is this will also allow our mixture to smell pretty good as well. Just give this a good mixing. And then what you'll want to do, now that your product is done, is put it into any sort of a spray bottle so that you can use it around the house, around the garden, wherever you need it. And that is our finished product. You can now protect your plants from invaders using the power of peppers.